Hey everybody, welcome to our first bonus episode.
Yay.
We're going to talk about Superman today.
If you recall, Erica, when I did our intro to the podcaster's social media thing, my fun fact under me was no sign of superhero fatigue. Because I just love superheroes, and Superman's been my guy for quite some time. So I'm a little bit of a know-it-all, a little bit. Don't actually know it all. I had to do a lot of research just now, but I want to talk at you a bit.
I love it. You know, it really does track for me that Superman would be your guy. It's like there's a wholesome quality there.
Oh, I love that.
Sort of mirrors how I see you.
Oh, that's my heart. Sorry, guys, we have to shut off the episode. I gotta go give her a hug. So what brought this about is that I think we're going to start talking about movies that are upcoming. There's plenty of remakes and sequels and reboots and things that are coming up in the movie theater in 2025. Superman by James Gunn is coming out in July this year. And this has got a lot of people talking, right?
Yeah.
So
remind me who James Gunn is.
James Gunn, so you could tell she's not into superhero movies. James Gunn is the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, and actually,
oh, that was a fun one.
Yeah, he was a director of a bunch of the really fun Marvel movies.
Cool,
so
yeah.
He's got quite like a repertoire underneath him.
Did he do Deadpool? That one was fun too. I only saw the first one. But...
what was his name? Hold on.
I think I saw Deadpool too. I didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy 2, only the first one of those.
I thought it was decent.
I have superhero fatigue.
Yeah, she does.
In an intense way. I have given up a long time ago on trying to keep up with these universes.
Yeah, that's fair. Marvel did an interesting thing blending all their franchisee films together, but then it became to a point where in order to follow X movie, you had to see this TV show on Disney Plus, and you had to watch this thing on Netflix, and you had to watch these 3 films for this one character and this 2 films for the other. It's too much, right? So I'm hoping that they will start to simplify it so it's more open to new audiences, because you're gonna scare some people off. Like, I remember one of the big team up movies, someone was like, you have to watch like 20 movies to get to this point. That's a lot.
That's a lot to ask.
If you're not already up to date,
who has a lot to do. I'm a very creatively active person, so I'm also socially active. I have friends that I like spending time with. So, and we don't always watch films together. So I feel like that's a tall order for somebody who doesn't have that kind of time on their hands. I also have to have jobs. So
I also have to have a job. Yeah. So James Gunn is an American screenwriter, director, and producer.
Lovely.
James Gunn was known for Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and 3. I think he was a writer on all those.
Okay.
He also just recently did The Creature Commandos. It's a animated series on Max. It's very adult. It's not meant for children. Very gory.
Okay. Adult cartoons.
And he also did Peacemaker, another TV series, live action with John Cena as Peacemaker. Okay. Actually, surprisingly, really fun. There is a dance sequence in the intro that is top notch. He also wrote The Suicide
Squad.
Squad.
A good dance sequence with a big muscly guy.
That's exactly why it works. He also wrote and directed The Suicide Squad, which is a funny case study because they made that movie after Suicide Squad didn't work.
I was going to say, you really emphasized that article there.
Yeah, so. The Suicide Squad was a rehash, a retry of Suicide Squad, which they shared some characters, they shared some actors, but they did it again because a lot of people hated the first one. Very interesting case study.
So they're going to sink... So people didn't like your film, so you're going to sink more money into doing another version to try to do it better?
It was a different director's film. Suicide Squad was David Ayer, who has done some good stuff, but it was not a well-received movie. Mm-hmm. The Suicide Squad, done a handful of years later, was by James Gunn, and I think it was more liked, more fun and jokey. And
which one had Margot Robbie in it?
Both.
Oh.
Anyway, I've gotten way off topic. So we're going to start with a little bit of trivia, but I want Erica to answer this question for me because she's not a superhero fan.
I'm going to lose. I'm so nervous.
Want you to tell me which character has had more actors play the lead role? James Bond, Doctor Who, or Superman?
Oh, which one has the most?
Which one has the most actors?
I only remember a certain number of Supermans because there were a lot of animated versions of Superman over the years.
We're going to look at
it
just
is a very
live action.
old character, though.
Yeah, 1938 is when he started in the comics.
Okay, you're giving me information. Okay, so I'm going to count that as a clue.
So I'm saying between James Bond.
James Bond also kind of started mid-century, right? Like, when did those books come out?
What did I tell you? Did I tell you James Bond, Superman, and Doctor Who?
This isn't going to work if you don't remember who you gave me as the options.
Okay, because I had more options.
But yes,
written down.
those were the choices.
Okay, yeah. So it's between James Bond, who is a character that's been played by a bunch of people. There's a fan theory that James Bond 007 is just a designation and not an actual person, that it goes from agent to agent. It's a very lazy way of explaining that all the movies exist in one universe. They don't. So between James Bond,
Bridget's calling
Doctor
you out,
Who,
bitches.
I am. Between James Bond, Doctor Who, a alien
Which is
character,
very old. Yeah,
Doctor Who's also very old, from the 60s. I'm gonna say early 60s.
And Doctor Who, that explanation does apply to Doctor Who, right? It's like that. It's not
He
one
actually
person.
does. Because he
But they
regenerates.
like morph into. Oh yeah,
Exactly.
regenerate. Okay, I've
Yeah,
never
so-
actually watched Doctor Who.
Oh, Doctor Who's a classic. In order for that character to not die, he regenerates into a new body, which was just a way of them recasting the character. This actor got tired. They went and did another one. Makes sense. The show's been running for decades.
Yeah.
So,
and it is sci-fi, so it
is
makes sense that
sci-fi.
they could get away with that kind of explanation.
I can't tell you
Okay.
what doctor we're up to because that would give it up.
Yeah, don't tell me. So all three of these characters are very long-running characters.
They are.
Which one had the most? I want to say Doctor Who, actually. I feel like that's...
Okay, good. It was a trick question. It was Doctor Who.
Yay!
Doctor Who has had 15 actors.
15.
Isn't that quite a bit? There's a bunch in new.
It is,
yeah,
but-
there's a bunch in old Who, which is our, like, I'm going to say 60s to 80s is old Who. New Who started in the 2000s.
I'm loving the weird.
I know. Yeah, there's only a
New
way.
Who.
There's only a way to say this.
How many actors did you Who?
Did I Who? 4, I think. You Who? So there's been 15 doctors, but Superman actors is a very close second. Now, I'm only, for the sake of this episode, we don't have all day. We're going to lunch.
Oh.
There's been 12 live action Supermen. I'm not counting animated, and I'm not counting things like video games or I don't think radio serials were included in this as well. So this is 12 live action on screen Supermen. That's in the theater and also on TV.
They could all make up a jury for a trial.
How many people do you need for a baseball team? Because I feel like
That's not my sport. I don't know.
I don't know. I went to art school.
I think they usually have a pretty good amount of people on a baseball team, but how many people are on the field at once is a different story.
Yeah, it's fair. Who's riding the bench? I know who's riding the bench. It's
It's
Dean
me.
Cain.
Oh,
Anyway, it's you.
I didn't play Superman though. I see what you mean.
Yeah. So Erica is not as well versed on Superman as me, so I decided to talk at her about the subject. July 11th, 2025 is James Gunn's Superman. When the teaser trailer was released, it was late last year. It was in December. It hit 50 million views on the teaser trailer.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's 7-Eleven coming up.
A lot of commentary was positive. Like I saw a lot of people feeling like very refreshed by the take that Gunn was showing in this trailer. It's very much comic booky and bright and happy and just earnest and wholesome, bringing it back to its comic booky roots. So I'm kind of excited to see this movie because he's going in this direction.
I would check that out.
Yeah, the past 20 something years or so, a lot of iterations were trying to be dark, especially in the movies. And it didn't do well for the character. It's not a character that should be dark. You can put this character in dark situations, but the character at his core should be wholesome, should be, you know, that bright spot of light that you see. And that's why
stand-up guy.
It's an idealistic
The
character.
glasses.
It's basically this idea of if this person had all these amazing powers and this incredible strength and they still chose to be good, that's like the ultimate ideal.
Yeah.
So what's interesting,
You know, Superman was Seinfeld's favorite
yes, he was,
superhero.
and he had a Superman in I think every episode or something.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think there's what do you call it? There's an Easter egg in a bunch of Seinfeld episodes of Superman because Jerry Seinfeld really liked him. What's interesting is I keep getting all this like targeted stuff on social media because they find out what you like and then they start sending you more of it.
Right.
I'm getting all this targeted stuff about Zack Snyder fanboys being upset at James Gunn, claiming there's a conspiracy by Gunn, who is a Marvel guy, to destroy Zack Snyder's legacy. I cannot make this stuff up.
Who is Zack Snyder?
I love her so much. This is so great. Zack Snyder.
For those of you who've been living under a rock like I have.
Goddamn. I'm going to actually have to Google this because I need to say this right.
I made her say a curse word.
So sorry. Am I now not safe for work on Spotify?
Well, we have been that, but only because of me. So I'm glad you're at least joining the... You're in the fold now.
Zack Snyder is an American filmmaker.
I know that name. I know I've heard his name.
He is a director. Okay. He made his feature film debut in Dawn of the Dead, 2004. He's also really famous for the movie 300.
Oh, yeah. I know 300. Yeah, I've seen that.
He got to be the guy who did the slow motion, really like agonized shots of like a bullet firing out of a gun, a sword clattering to the ground. Like that was him. Yeah. That was his deal. So Zack Snyder is one of the directors we'll talk about in this list of movies. He did the last version of Superman that and didn't end as
and people liked it, but
yeah, like I think
but now they're upset that someone else.
I think every iteration people like it and people don't like it. Like especially when you have the internet at our disposal now, it's so much more obvious when people don't like something because they're so loud on the internet.
Well, and it's such a long-standing character and story, and I mean there are so many. It was comic book first, right? So like it's got all that history too, so there's a lot for people to compare it to.
Yeah, it's
be upset about.
It's got to be quite a pair of shoes to fill to take on a character like this with this much history.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm a big Superman fan. I fell in love with this character in 2001 when Smallville, the TV show, aired. This was about Clark Kent as a kid growing up, learning how to live his life. It's a WB show, then the CW, now the CW. But it was very like it started out very wholesome and very nice, and like that show ran for 10 seasons.
Really? That was 10 seasons long?
Prolific. And a lot of actors got their start. Amy Adams made an early appearance on that show. She was just a bit character in an episode, but now she's a big time actor.
Yeah. She was in one of my favorite films.
Ooh, what is it?
Arrival.
Arrival is so good. Okay, yeah, we're talking about sci-fi here. It fits.
I'm officially a huge sci-fi person. So.
I love it. I love it so much. Arrival's really good if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Also based.
Fantastic film.
Arrival's an adaptation too. It was based
from a short
story.
Ted Chiang, right?
I don't remember, but yeah, that sounds right.
He's the author.
Because I wanted to read it. So let's take a look back. Superman started as a comic in 1938. The first iteration I can see was in 1948 of a live-action Superman. This was in 1948. It's black and white. Kirk Alyn played Superman in a 15-part Columbia Pictures film serial.
I gotta look at this guy. Kirk Alyn?
Kirk Alyn. A-L-Y-N.
Oh, A-L-Y. That's not how I was going to spell it.
I had a feeling.
Oh, he's a cutie. All right.
Oh, I know. It's originally this was screened at movie matinees, and every episode ended with a cliffhanger. So
he looks like a Superman. Yeah,
dude, I kind of wish we still did serials to this day. Like, how sweet would that be? Like, oh, I want to see the next adventure of so and so. Like, there's something so sweet about it.
Yeah, I like that.
And what's interesting is due to the technical limitations of the time, we're talking 1948, they couldn't show Superman flying. They didn't have the technology to do it. They couldn't figure it out. So what they did is they animated him into a cartoon and had him fly. And then when he landed, he was Kirk Alyn again.
What?
It's wild. You should look up a clip. It's really good.
I'm surprised they didn't have any like wire rigging that they could do at that point.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a little surprised, but I mean that's a clever workaround.
I think it's very smart. I mean, when you don't have the technology, you find a way, and that's part of why I find a lot of old movies so very endearing, because they really had to try to figure things out.
Wow, that's neat. Okay.
Yeah.
I've learned. Okay, you're teaching me stuff. I love this.
Yeah, this is a history lesson.
Kirk Alyn.
We're not just being nerdy, we're being film history nerds as well. So 1950, Kirk Alyn plays the role again. It's Atom Man versus Superman. By 1951, then he is in, I think it's him again, Superman and the Mole Men. They're very, very campy back in these days. I wrote down this description of this movie because it is just peak 1950s. An oil drill taps into the home of an underground species of mole people who glow in the dark.
Ooh.
This movie was filmed in...
We call that bioluminescence.
We do call it. Thank you for the like ASMR of it all. Ooh. So this movie was filmed in 12 days.
Whoa, really?
Yep.
How long is it? What's the runtime? Gotta look it up. I ask questions off script.
58 minutes.
Okay.
So just under an hour.
Okay.
Sounds about right for a campy movie of the time.
Yeah.
Especially since it started out as little serials. I wrote down this piece of trivia. The laser weapon that the mole men use is made out of an Electrolux vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
See, I love how scrappy they were.
Yes.
It was
That's
so
fun.
sweet. These early films were just ripped directly from the comic strips of the time. They're cheeky, there's quick banter, there's unabashedly dorky action scenes.
This makes me want to watch some of this stuff.
It's so pure and simple. There's also an Adventures of Superman that is a TV series that starred George Reeves. Very particular on the S there because there's another Reeve.
He's not as cute, but okay.
Not the same, but that was also a cute, campy show. There are literally episodes where Jimmy Olsen, kid, I think he was a kid reporter or he was a photographer in that series, ends up on an island and has to solve a mystery. But no matter what, Superman always comes in to save the day. Mm-hmm. Very cute, very, very wholesome show. And again, quick banter, very snappy.
52 to 1958. Looks like it ran.
It ran
6
for a
seasons.
few seasons, yeah.
That's fun. Okay.
Yeah, and then we have a tonal shift by the time we get to the 70s. Now, this is our big Superman. This is the one we all think about, right? 1978 Superman, Christopher Reeve.
It's the one I think of. I think of Superman, I think Christopher Reeve.
This is fair, because
I'm a little
Superman.
Older than you.
Yeah, but I also think I remember the tagline on the poster was, "You will believe a man can fly," which makes so much sense, right?
Yeah.
Because in the early iterations, they didn't have the technology to do it. So in the early serials, they transformed him into they transformed him into an animated character in order to fly. Mm-hmm. In the Adventures of Superman series, he literally bounces on a trampoline and jumps into the air, and then you just see like a static of him like flying.
Oh.
And that was their version of the flying. It worked. You could usually never see the trampoline. It was usually hidden, but I mean, it was a low budget show. Sometimes you see stuff that's not supposed to be seen.
Right. Yeah.
Very fun.
Sometimes you have no choice but to use that take where you could see the wires.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it looks like in this, the original one was from 1978, it looks like, with Christopher Reeve. It looks like Marlon Brando was in it.
Oh my gosh.
Gene Hackman.
I have so much to say about Marlon Brando, but I'm going to slow my roll because he was paid a lot of money for a very intro role and a voiceover, and that was it. Like, he was a lot of the budget.
I'm not caught up on his whole biography, but it seemed like maybe around that time was when his career was, something where he was older. Like, yeah, and also just like I think personally he was struggling more at that point in his life, maybe. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to excuse, like, if you get paid to do a job, like, I feel like the right thing to do is show up and do your job, but that doesn't always happen, and sometimes people are dealing with stuff and it makes it really difficult for them to show up like they ideally would. Yeah. I don't know. Not to give a pass. I don't know what he was going through exactly. But.
Yeah, well, like Marlon Brando was known for like The Godfather, right? So he was like this big time guy. But by the time he ended up in like Apocalypse Now, his life was like falling apart. Apocalypse Now came out in 1979. So this is around the same time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trivia about Apocalypse Now. Like, I think he showed up not ready to film.
There's a whole documentary about it.
Yeah.
That I saw before I actually saw Apocalypse Now.
Right.
Called Heart of Darkness.
It's a great documentary. So by 1980, Superman got a sequel. We have Superman 2. The reason I'm going to linger on this one is because there was controversy about it, and it's kind of interesting. The controversy was really that the director, Richard Donner, who directed the first movie, was at odds with the producers, the Salkinds, and they replaced him. Donner filmed 70% of the movie, and then they hired Richard Lester to replace him. It sounds like they had an overabundance of Richards at this time period. So it's interesting.
So Richard Donner.
Yeah,
And
Richard
then
Donner's
Richard
the
Lester.
original, and then he was replaced by Richard Lester. Now, Lester went
right.
and reshot a bunch of stuff. Like, Lester changed the tone of the movie.
70% of the way in, huh?
Yeah, I know.
That sounds tricky.
It gets dicey. I think both versions kind of work. There are parts that are silly. There are parts that work better. But the notable thing is that Lester added a lot of sight gags and things that were like jokey. Like one of the bad guys, he made a little bit more clumsy, a little bit doofy, like, you know, whatever. Donner would cut around that. Like, he cut around the goofy bits and made it more serious and more stoic. Lester added a gag, like the bad guys replacing Mount Rushmore with their own faces.
Wow.
Which is, it was a choice.
That is a choice.
In Donner's version, they destroy the Washington Monument. So there was a difference between someone doing like really gaggy kind of comedy and somebody trying to take it a little bit more serious. Eventually, Richard Donner got his own cut of the movie. It took a long time to get it approved. The Donner version shows a less comedic, more serious version. It was like kind of a big deal that this was released too, because he kept talking about his own version of the movie.
It looks like it came out in 2006.
It came out late. That's right. 2006, we finally got the Donner cut. And I think it's worth seeing both versions if you want to see the movie. It's like, because I like to see what different directors' takes on a subject.
Me too, yeah.
1983, 1987. I'm glossing over these because they're not good movies. Superman 3 and 4. Superman 3 introduced Richard Pryor as one of our characters. I have no problem with Richard Pryor. He had no business being in this movie. It was a little jokey, a little goofy, a little unserious. There was an evil Superman clone at some point. It was a little goofy, even for me.
That was Superman 3?
3. Superman 4 is a movie I've never seen. It's supposed to be the worst Superman film. I feel terrible that they put Christopher Reeve through this.
The Quest for Peace.
The Quest
is
for
the
Peace.
subtitle. They got Gene Hackman back for this one as Lex Luthor.
Oh, he's so good. Superman 4 has a 3.7 on IMDb and a 10% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Oh, 10%?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
that's really bad.
Yeah.
It was about Superman saving the crew of a Russian space station. And I don't know where the Quest for Peace comes in, but he fights a guy called Nuclear Man.
Played by a guy named Mark Pillow.
Good for him. Oh, Mark Pillow.
Oh.
But yeah, so it didn't work. Now, I know we reference the ratings on movies a lot, but just because something doesn't have a great rating doesn't mean you necessarily shouldn't watch it. Mm-hmm. You should always give stuff your own time of day if you have it. If you're interested in something, look at it. If something has a terrible rating and you still like it, that's okay.
Yeah, I still love Miami Connection, even though it has a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, that's not kind. Okay.
It's not a well-made film, but it is so entertaining.
I like movies like that.
I watched it randomly with a couple of friends many years ago, and I was like, what is this? I love it.
Oh.
So yeah, Miami Connection, super fun. If you like a badly done, so bad it's good ninja movie, go for it.
I was not expecting ninja movie at any point in that conversation. I do want to make a quick aside on some unproduced Superman films. There's about 6 or 7 of them, but I'm going to mention 2.
Okay.
First is Superman Flyby, an unproduced J.J. Abrams attempt. He was really advocating for it. He did not get the budget or did not get the green light to make the film, but J.J.
Okay.
Abrams was going to have a Superman movie.
So it didn't get filmed at all?
It didn't happen.
It was just written?
Yeah, these 2 are unproduced. The other unproduced one, which I can't wait until you hear all these details. It's quick, but I'm gonna regale you. Unproduced film called Superman Lives. The title character was gonna be starred by Nicolas Cage. This is a film in the 90s. They were going to try a black suit. They were going to have long hairdo. It was very reflecting of the comics at the time. They were trying to go dark and mysterious.
And who was going to film that?
Oh, I don't remember. I forgot.
Oh. It looks like it was Tim Burton's.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, it might be Tim Burton. I'm sorry I didn't write that down, but I was so distracted by the next piece of trivia I was going to give you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm distracting you.
No, you're not. This is wonderful. There was a producer. This is an anecdote. I don't know if he was a producer, executive producer, whatever, but it was some kind of producer on this film who insisted that Superman needed to fight a giant mechanical spider. And he desperately wanted it in the film.
Like from Wild Wild West with Kevin Kline and...
Isn't it funny you mentioned that? That producer went on to make Wild Wild West and got his mechanical spider.
Oh my God.
That's my trivia.
That's hysterical.
I can't believe you thought about that. That's why there's a mechanical spider in Wild Wild West.
That movie was terrible.
Yeah, but at the time I was like 9 years old and I didn't care.
Well, yeah.
But no, you're right. It wasn't a great movie, but that's why there's a mechanical spider.
That's hysterical.
It was supposed to be in a Superman movie.
It was Will Smith in that too, right?
Yeah.
It was Kevin Kline and Will Smith.
Yeah.
That was like steampunk.
Yeah, it was steampunk.
Like fan fiction or something.
Steampunk before steampunk was cool.
Yeah.
And
well,
Erica's like, is steampunk cool? No.
well, that's not for me to decide, really, but...
That's very fair. Thank you.
I feel like, I mean, it's definitely not the first steampunk film. It's like Tank Girl, I think, has that title.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good choice.
Which is a very fun movie.
Yeah.
Has a very Mad Max vibe to it, but campy. Campy Mad Max.
Oh,
and
Mad
female
Max
lead.
Yeah, I was going to say Mad Max is its own thing.
Totally. Yeah, not steampunk. But you know, it's that same kind of a post-apocalyptic, like desert world kind of setting for Tank Girl.
Right. Nicolas Cage did eventually portray Superman, but not really him. It was definitely a VFX version of him. He appeared in just a snippet in the Flash film of 2023. There's a segment where the Flash is seeing all these various universes, and he sees Superman and Supergirl from the 1980s, and he sees Nicolas Cage battling a metal spider. I loved it so much.
A lot
of people hated this thing because it was very, very VFX-y, very smoothed over. They were going for like a look, but a bunch of people interpreted that as bad CGI.
Okay.
Why not both? But you know...
And what year was that again?
2023, the Flash movie came out. Nicolas Cage's version eventually did live.
Superman does live.
What's interesting, we have a bunch of unproduced ones. So the 90s have no Supermans. Not unless you count TV, but we're trying to simplify life right now.
Maybe that's why I still think about Christopher Reeve as Superman, because there was
like no Supermans at this time.
Yeah.
Batman was doing
the
pretty
90s
well.
Was I was about to say, the 90s was more of a Batman era.
Yeah, and I think they were trying to do a darker version. Like they definitely had a darker look to these movies.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to emulate Batman. Batman was very successful.
Yeah, and it's a darker story,
a
darker character for sure.
Yeah, until you get to Mr. Freeze.
Oh my God, yeah.
Poison Ivy and the rubber lips. Anyway, I'm done.
I will always love Uma Thurman.
She's a treasure. Next time we see a Superman on the big screen, it is in 2006. It's called Superman Returns. Title character is played by Brandon Routh. I think he's delightful. He's gone on to do a bunch of TV stuff, and I think he's great. Director was Bryan Singer. Bryan Singer had just freshly come off of the X-Men movies, so I think he was doing pretty okay in his career at this time.
I recognize his face.
You might, yeah.
I don't think it was just from that either. He's in Scott Pilgrim?
Yes, he is. He's one of the evil X's.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I recognize him then. He has a very Superman, like, wholesome look to him.
He's got a good look to him. He seems very wholesome, like even in other iterations. And I know you should never just pair an actor with their character. They are, multifaceted people. They're not necessarily who their characters are. I think they did good casting on this.
Yeah.
Now, this version of Superman was very angsty and moody. I liked it at the time, but hey, we didn't have a lot of Superman content at the time. What's interesting?
Has Parker Posey in it?
Yes, that's where I met Parker Posey. She was one of Lex's minions, but she kind of falls in love with Superman and ends up kind of doing the right thing.
Oh.
It's very sweet. She's a good actress.
Sweet. Yeah, no, she is an excellent actor.
What's interesting about this version, it's in 2006. It's a loose sequel to Superman 2. Because there's a bunch of references to events that happen in Superman 2, but we have inexplicably modern technology. Mm-hmm. Like at one point, the newspaper editor, Perry White, says, "This kid took a picture with a camera phone." And I'm like, oh, so this isn't back in the past. Okay, got it. But it's interesting that they kind of bridge the gap between the two.
Yeah. Well, and I think he's like the other Superman that looks the most like Christopher Reeve.
I think they really, there's a lot of stuff they did in that movie that was trying to be an homage. Yeah. They even had the original Superman theme in this movie.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Whatever copyright they had to figure out, they did it. And then they did their own twist on it.
I need to watch this one.
The music is really, I like it. And a lot of people didn't like it. So it's interesting. It's one of those movies that's very divided. I'm an adult now. There's certain things that I'm like, I would interpret that differently. You, having not seen a lot of superhero movies at this point, you might like it. So maybe that'll be one we cover someday. I don't like Bryan Singer anymore, the director. because he has gotten in a lot of trouble. He is one of many people who has been Me Too'd. The allegations are that he assaulted minors, as in young people. And I'm not okay with that. And I hope he never makes a movie again. I can appreciate the art that was created, but the artiste, no, you knew better. Same with Kevin Spacey is in that movie as well.
Yeah, I noticed. I didn't want to mention his name.
Same dealio. So,
Yeah.
like, I like a lot of stuff that Kevin Spacey's been in. I love Baby Driver, but I don't like him as a human anymore because of what he's done. And that's a very touchy discussion of art versus artist.
I feel like everybody wants you to make a final choice of like, okay, I'm going to separate the art from the artist forever and always. Amen.
But
and
then
I don't feel like I can always do that.
I can't always do that.
There are some times where it feels more okay, like once that person is dead.
Because they can no longer profit.
Yeah, because they aren't directly profiting anymore. But sometimes I just can't.
And that's
Sometimes
fair.
I just can't, and I feel fine about it.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same camp that I'm kind of in between on that. I think it's good to know the difference and to not encourage people who have done bad things to keep doing bad things.
Yeah, we don't need to enable that.
So in 2013, we get our next Superman. Superman Returns never did get a sequel. They tried writing one. They tried greenlighting it. It never happened. It's one of the unproduced ones, which is sad because I really love Brandon Routh.
Man of Steel
Man of
from
Steel
2013
is the next one, starring Henry Cavill. I think he's the first British Superman. A real nerd in real life. He likes video games and building computers. I dig it.
Was he also in Count of Monte Cristo?
Yeah.
Was he in that?
I think
as
so.
a young man? Oh, he was. Okay, so the Count of Monte Cristo came out in 2002, and Henry Cavill played the son of the main character in that film.
Oh, okay.
He's very young. You almost wouldn't recognize him.
Wow.
But I was watching The Count of Monte Cristo with my nieces recently. It was their first time having seen this movie.
Yeah.
Which is a very well-woven plot, I think. It's a good story, but yeah, I was like just watching them kind of take all of that in and like watch this film. It's really fun to watch them watch things for the first time
so
that I've
fun.
seen so many times or have seen before.
That gives you such a fresh perspective on things. My young neighbors came over and the older girl, she was a teenager. She was like, I really want my brothers to see The Mask with Jim Carrey. They'd never seen it before. And it was so fun like watching that after not seeing it in many years and
That's
watching
wild.
it with these kids today. And, you know, it was a fun experience.
That is.
So in 2013, we had our latest iteration, Man of Steel. It's another origin story. So we do see like the planet Krypton and things, you know, going to heck. And, you know, Jor-El sends his son out into the world, you know, out into the universe. You know, a lot of naysayers of this movie claim it fits more as a general sci-fi movie than it does as a Superman movie. Fair designation, I think, because it is more heavily sci-fi. There is a world device that comes to Earth that's trying to terraform. It's dark, it's gritty, it's very much heavily color corrected to dark blue. Like, it's cold looking. There's some flashes of hope and positivity. Like you see a little bit of his childhood and you see like little moments here and there, but they try to be so serious that I think some people fell off. There's also some inexplicable things. You know, Superman is adopted by Jonathan and Martha Kent in Kansas. Very wholesome upbringing. There's a scene where Jonathan and there's a tornado coming through town and he just tells him, don't save me, you need to keep your secret and all that, and he gets killed by the tornado. And I'm like, yeah, but he could have been in and out of there and saved you in a split second and nobody would have seen.
Yeah.
So that's like a story thing that a lot of people had problems with. I had a problem with that. There's also the ending, and when we dispatch the main villain, who is General Zod from Krypton, who wants to terraform the Earth. He's threatening people. He's about to kill some more people in front of Superman, and Superman kills him.
Oh.
Superman should not kill.
Right.
So you've lost a lot of fans at that point. I think Snyder was trying to show an impossible decision and have a really real consequence to it. It didn't sit well with a lot of people. So Henry Cavill did get to be in a bunch of other movies. He did some cameos in movies. Notably, he was in 2016's Batman v Superman. I did want to see this. I did. I went there and I was like, why are they fighting? They
like,
spent far
"Excuse
too
me."
much time fighting. I think they should have paired up earlier in the movie. It should have been a buddy movie in my mind.
Oh, they put Ben Affleck in this one.
This is when Ben Affleck was Batman. He tried. So what's good about this movie is that it led to the introduction of Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot is, I think she's wonderful. I think she's great. Is it Gadot? I don't know. waiting for Godot.
I'm waiting for Godot over here.
All right, hold on. How to pronounce? Oh no,
Are we butchering it?
I'm butchering it. Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot?
Her name is Hebrew, so the T in Gadot is pronounced. I've been saying this wrong for at least 10 years.
Well, I'm sure you're not the only one.
I'm not, but I'm going to try to do better. So sorry.
Is it Gal or are we saying her first name right too?
Oh my God, if her name is Jillian, I'm going to die.
What?
I'm just kidding. It is Gal, I'm pretty sure. Oh, you make me question everything now.
I just did a revisit on some of the Fast and Furious movies, and
yeah, she was in those.
In a couple of those.
You know, people weren't sure if she could do Wonder Woman because she was in those movies as like pretty eye candy in the corner.
She did some driving. She wasn't in the action quite as much as the guys were, but those movies are all very patriarchal.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even with Michelle Rodriguez's character, who's like kind of a tough chick, like she still doesn't get to shine fully, I don't think. But that's a whole other episode.
Yeah, that's definitely, I think hers is going to be the Fast and Furious retrospective. So this movie was very cynical and dark and Zack Snyder-y, and he tried to show that Batman would think that Superman is a threat because he's an alien invader, and he's trying to show that angle.
Yeah.
It was very much a downer. Doesn't end very pretty either. Superman dies. He comes back eventually, but we're not talking about the Justice League. I don't have all day. We haven't had Henry Cavill didn't get to do much more than cameos after this. DC was trying to build a franchise machine like Marvel had at this point.
Yeah, they definitely got in faster than DC did.
And DC was trying to play catch up, and some of their properties weren't hitting right, and they didn't end up getting sequels, and they had some misses. And I think eventually they could figure it out, but they have to have the right people in charge.
And the right people bringing the vision to the screen as directors, too.
Absolutely. So 2025, that's this year as we record, David Corenswet is playing the new Superman, and James Gunn is the director. What's interesting is we see a good bit about the tone in the trailer.
Well, he's got a bit of a wholesome look to him too, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. And I think he did a good job with this. This one actually was filmed in Georgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know some folks who worked on it. Keep in your framed mind here, like that we just got out of a dark and gloomy selection of movies here, especially with the Snyderverse, as we call it. The trailer shows bright colors. It shows a comic book world with real consequences, but, no fear of showing the whimsy. And I think that's really refreshing. And what's interesting is like the first moment you see is Superman bleeding, because I think he's trying to humanize him right away. And then he introduces you to the first film version of Krypto the Superdog.
Excuse me?
He has a dog.
Superman has a dog.
A sweet little fellow who takes our lead character home. I'm going to have you watch the trailer now because I want to see a reaction.
All right, here we go.
Bold choice.
Oh, wow. Is he stuck?
I think he just crashed.
Okay. Oh, he's just barely breathing. Okay. Now he's running down the street to the Daily Planet. Gasping for air in the snow. Oh, no. Oh, that's a cool shot, though. Him looking right into the... Oh, and they got John Williams to do the music. Oh, that's exciting.
Yes.
Oh, and I like her.
Yeah, she looks good. She looks good.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Is she our Lois Lane?
Yes, she is.
I like that. I like that choice. Is that his dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
He's hugging his dad.
I've seen as much as you have, just a trailer.
I need answers, Bridget.
I don't have answers. I have questions. This part.
Oh, something's coming through the snow that he just whistled for. It's got to be the dog. Can't be anything else. It begins. Oh! That is not the dog I was expecting.
I know, right? He's so cute.
He's so cute. Saved a little girl. Nicholas Hoult. Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
Right?
Okay, I'm here for this one.
Look how hopeful it is. It's just so... It's so kind.
Oh, and, yeah, that
they
guy.
They introduced Hawkwoman in here.
Hawkwoman?
Yeah. I don't know who half of these characters are, but I have a guess.
You can tell Bridget's loyalty lies wherever dogs are. That's the thing. It's a quality we share.
It is.
Oh. All right, I would go see that.
So when I say we're finally feeling hopeful, you can see the vibes are very different than some of these other movies I've described. Like Man of Steel, like, I love the soundtrack, Hans Zimmer. You can do no wrong. But it's so dark and moody and gloomy, and it can just wear on you. And then that one, it looks like there's consequences. Like he's getting beat up. He's dealing with probably the public not trusting him. But you can see that wholesome vibe shining through.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I feel like we need some of that this year in this point in time. I think we need some wholesome. We need something to make us feel, I don't know, feel good. Feel like that there's hope. And I feel like that's what some people are getting out of this trailer, is that it's a sign of good things to come. Now, I could be wrong. This movie could crash and burn like he does in the first moments of this trailer. But I can be hopeful.
Yeah, well, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about cinema and film. I mean, if you think about, like, during the Depression, people would go to watch movies and kind of escape their day-to-day. Anytime we've been, going through a hard time collectively, culturally, I think films can help us get through those hard times by reminding us that there is good in the world and that there's a lot to appreciate and hold dear.
I think that's a really good way to put it. So I just wanted to go over quick. This is the last bit I have for this. So the tonal shifts. The tonal shifts are very reminiscent of what decade they come out in. So, in the early 50s and stuff, it's very cheeky, it's very campy, it's very bam, zoom, zap. 70s and 80s, we get a little bit more serious, but it's still a little comic booky. It's still earnest. It's still wholesome, but at times a little silly. The 90s attempts were very dark, sci-fi, grungy. That's probably also why they didn't happen. Early 2000s, we got super angsty. A lot of nods to what came before, an attempt to modernize. By the 2010s, we got moody, dark sci-fi. And now in 2025, we need a little brightness. And maybe, just maybe, we need James Gunn's take on Superman.
Here's to James Gunn. I hope you knocked it out of the park.
I hope so too, because then our follow-up episode will be like, what James Gunn did wrong with Superman. As every It Think piece will do in July.
So we'll have that to look forward to.
Absolutely. I look forward to when Erica decides on a bonus episode, because I think she's got some stuff she wants to cover too.
I have so many opinions.
I can't wait. I hope you nerded out as I did, or that you were just as perplexed as Erica was for the first half. I love it. I live for it. Please like, subscribe, etc., etc. You know all the deets.
Yes, thank you for joining us.